Hello, this is Aaron with Yesterday's Games, and today we're going to be playing a game called OpenTTD. This is it here in the background. It was released in 2004, and I know looking at the graphics you might be thinking this looks like it was released a mite earlier than 2004, but it was based on a game called Transport Tycoon Deluxe, which as you can tell is kind of a SimCity, the original SimCity age of a game, and it's got this retro style graphics, and it's a business simulation game. And as you can see in the background, there's kind of some boats moving around over here. We've got trains and trucks and buses and all kinds of stuff, and it's good fun. But you know, let's get stuck in. So for now, I'm going to just run through some of the options because there are a few options that you want to have with the thing. Settings. So we go into settings. The big thing that I've done is if you go and search for cargo, you can see here we've got distribution mode for stuff. Now we want to do, so this is going to be different for you, but if you search for cargo, make sure you've got category set to expert. Distribution mode for passengers, set to that to symmetric, which means basically people are actually going to go to certain places. You know, somebody's going to want to go from city A to city B, not just I'm at the station and I want to go somewhere, which I think makes a lot more sense, and it makes it a little more realistic. And you can kind of work with, you can transfer passengers. You know, if you have kind of in between stations, you can do that. Mail's pretty much, yeah, that's fair enough to say asymmetric. Hey, I just want to go from here to somewhere. That's okay. Same thing for money and other cargo classes. Leave that alone. It should be manual anyway. Now the other one is you might want to do breakdowns. Now I've got these set to reduced because they get to be a bit of a pain sometimes, but that's all right. Let's not get too overwhelmed with that stuff. Now I don't run a lot of mods in this game, but you know, you find the mods that are new GFR settings, and I'm using two here. This is extended road vehicles and trams, so this is a lot of trucks, a lot of buses. You kind of articulated buses, which are the ones that kind of have the, you know, the little connection in between, and you get trams, which is good fun. And then this one called Industrial Stations Renewal, which means, and you'll see this pretty shortly, rather than having one style of station for everything, you can have kind of grain silos that you put up at grain things, mineral loaders at your coal plants, things like that. And that's neat, and I enjoy it. So we'll get back and jump into a new game. So you do a world generation. You have your 4 different map types up here. We're just going to stick with temperate for now. 512 by 512 should be plenty for you to get started playing the game. Leave most of this stuff kind of as it is. Now, number of towns, I like to do just kind of normal. Terrain type very flat is kind of a just easy mode for you. Set these here, tree algorithm. Starting date is pretty important. 1950 means you're not in steam trains for ages and ages and ages. You can set this back, I believe, all the way to 1800, but without other GFR, so without other mods, you're probably going to be using like the same steam trains for a long time, and it gets a little bit old. So there's no need to start back that far, especially if you're just getting started. 1950s will give us a pretty nice spread. Like we'll get into diesel trains fairly soon. I want to say it's 10 or 15 years, and we'll get into that. But let's go ahead and hit generate and see what we get. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and pause the game just for now and pull it back, and you can see here. Now, nice little tip is you can scroll by clicking the right mouse button, and you notice the mouse stays in the same place, but that's alright, we can still scroll around. And this is our whole map here. Looks pretty nice. We've got a few bodies of water. Those will be kind of interesting to get around. Oh, this is neat. We've got we have a little city on a little island. I've never seen something like that before. That's neat. I don't know that he's going to be able to grow much out there, but that's okay. This is a pretty big map, and you may be thinking, where do I begin? Should I connect everything? And I would say no. There's no need to connect everything. I've left a lot of cities on because, well, you know, makes things a little more interesting. Now you might be seeing, you know, I've got these cities, you know, Trudhattan, Great Mintfield. And I've got these other things. Now these are going to be your industries. This over here, and there are mods that add way more complexity. But for now, and hey, let's get started with the basics. We've got steel mill, iron ore mines, farms, all kinds of stuff. Quick tip too, you can hit delete to remove all of those windows at the same time without having to scroll back through them. Picking your starting location though, an easy way to get income is going to be to do a coal power plant, you know, line. And what we want to do is we'll come up here and list all of our industries. So what we want to do is sort this by type. So we got coal mines. Now what we want to do is find our most productive coal mines. 168, that would be pretty good. Let's see if we can track him down. There he is in the middle there. So now this is a great one. We got another one over here. There's a power plant over here, and there's one down here. Now, before we get this all clogged up with windows, let's have a look around. So this is the one that we want to be working with. Now this does not cement us in. Like what we want to do, and perfect. There's a power plant right here. We want to get a few coal mines, just dumping money into a power plant, and this is going to be huge. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, all in this area. I would say that's a pretty good start for being able to do this. Now, Gonding Stone, that'd be all right. We've got maybe this direction is kind of where we want to go. We want to see some big cities. That'll come into play later. But for now, you know what? I'm going to say we'll pick this one. It's a Trudhattan power plant. So this is going to be our coal power plant. Now, what we're going to have to do is we want to hook this guy up. Now, what I want to do is leave this coal mine up. I'll come over to our railroad, click on our stations. Now, this is where I've got that GFR where I can choose different stations here. And I always like mineral silo. Mineral loader I think makes a lot of sense for, you know, power plant. Now we want to come over here. Now this is going to change the orientation. If we do one track, you can see this really easily. This go in this direction. This is going to be go in this direction. A little older game, open source, and we don't have diagonal stations. That's all right. I'm going to go with we've got four coal stations. We could probably make do with three tracks. Because these trains are going to whip in here and unload pretty quick. I'm going to just do an easy, nice length of 4. And I think, so we've got the coal thing there, and there. I'm going to do it this way. So now you see around here, we've got kind of this bluish area around the lighter colors. That is what's called your catchment area. And we want to make sure that's here. So we'll see over here where it says accepts and supplies. Accepts nothing when it's here. We'll click it over. Accepts coal. And oh, we got to unpause in order to do this. So there we go. We've got Trottingham Woods, which you know what? I'm going to go ahead and rename that to. This is going to be our power plant station. Because you know what? I don't really want to get confused looking at my things going, well, which one is this? Drottningham Woods, whatever. It is in a woods, but you know, we don't have to sweat it too much. So that station is set up. When I come over here, this is the railroad auto tool. And if we come over here, what we're going to do is we're going to make a station. It's called a railroad station, which basically means just kind of, you know, the tracks come in and we can have them come back out. And the way that I like to do these is I want to have trains come in this way, and then I want to have hold control to remove those things. So trains come in this way and they come out this way. And so what I want to do is have my main tracks running kind of straight through here. This is gonna, oh, that was a bit of a mess. This is just gonna come straight out like this and hook up into, say, a track running something like that. And there's a lot of exotic track layouts that you can do, but we honestly don't need anything too exotic. Before we go too much further, let's talk about signals. Now, signals can be a bit confusing, but let's keep it simple. All the way on the right, you'll see this is one-way path signals. Because we're in 1950, let's go ahead and do semaphore. Now, this is just a visual change. There's no change in function between the two of these. But if we go over here, now you'll notice, let's zoom in here. And actually, we don't need these guys here. We have on the right side, basically you think your trains will pass stuff, will go the direction, and it's on the right side of the track, so go in this direction. If we go ahead and, so the way that I'm doing this here is basically these pass signals. A train will come up here, he'll stop here, and if there's a train in this one, in this berth, it'll know, hey, I can go into these other two. And once these trains leave here, once they pass here, these other trains will know, hey, I can pull onto this bit of track. This is a smart signal that's telling it, hey, I can go all this direction. Now you saw here, you can do a click and a drag. And what this is going to do, if you hold control, is build that same direction out, you know, kind of the direction that you pull it. So if we come over here and we place one down, we say that's our right, that's our left. Click and drag, and it has placed all those signals for us. Now this makes life so much simpler. But all that aside, let's go ahead and get this connected. This is going to be a right turn. We're going to want to be able to turn right into here. And also we want this one to be able to come in. So he can come in. You know, trains coming in this way. Trains coming in this way. When they're leaving, they can go out this way. And they can go out this way. So they can make a right turn, or they can come out and make a left turn. And that's pretty much, that's as good as we need now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little extra one here and here. Because this is what this means is, you know, these trains, he'll come through. And as soon as he clears the junction here, as soon as he clears the junction, we're going to be able to add in, you know, he's going to be, another train's going to be able to service through here. The only other thing we need before we can kind of get closer to getting started is, let's have a little train depot here. So there we go, and let's hook up this guy here. We should probably be fine. Let's do mineral silos, 2 tracks. 2 tracks should be more than enough. You know, place him down there. And we'll go ahead and bring this up. So now you see here, now I don't really want to be building on an angle like that. Because, again, older game, it cannot handle diagonals. I want to just bring them up like that, so he's at least in line with the other one. Now do this out here. Now, the other one. So we've got, try not to mix these up. One-way pass signals mean a train will see this and say, look, I can only go the right. I can only go on the right here. One-way pass signals So what this will be is if a train pulls in here, now a little bit of cheating going on because the train will automatically flip around, as you'll see. They can oppose a path signal. They cannot oppose a one-way path signal. So he can come in here and park, but then he's got to wait till this a path for him is clear up this direction. So we're going to do something simple like that. Now, eventually we may have the lines going off here, but for now, this is where they come in. The train will pull into the mine, whip out of the mine, and we'll take away that extra track there. Totally fine. We don't have to worry about that. This is also what's known as a terminus station, and it's not going to be getting a huge amount of traffic. Again, probably 2 trains maximum are going to be coming in here. But hey, there's some really complex ones we can make. The Roro is probably good enough for most of the game, to be honest. So let's got our depots down, and let's buy some trains. Like, it's been long enough. We've been talking about this. The other thing that you need to know down here, here's your money on the bottom right. If you look down there, 93,000. We're gonna need some trains. So mainly we'll see the difference here. We got power and speed. The big one for me is I'm going to make sure we've got something with plenty of power. Let's save a little bit of money. So rather than going for the Ginzu, and especially because this is a fairly short run, we're going to go with the Cheney. And if we scroll down here, we get a coal hopper. Now, I've given him a ton of cars because I know that this thing is going to be producing a grip of coal. And if you look over on the right, 4. And that actually is 1, 2, 3, 4 on our thing. So it's not counting the number of cars. It's kind of 2 cars per unit, per tile and everything there. So this is our train over here. It's our first train. Let's go ahead and we click on this little train orders. We're going to tell it to go to, and if we control click, that's going to say full load. And then we're going to want it to go and unload here. And let's go ahead and send it off because we really need to start making some money. So what we'll do is we'll close out of these here, and we don't need planes yet. Watch our train as it goes. It gives a nice little, woo-woo as it's off. And you can see our one-way path signals there, giving him the green light. Or rather the sign up. No green lights yet. That's a little later in train evolution, and we'll see him pull into the station here. And there it is, 0%, and it's starting to fill up. So if we click on the station, we can see as it starts to get in coal here. This is great. Citizens celebrate. First train arrives at Drottninghattan Mines. I'm going to leave the name of this one alone because, it doesn't really matter. As long as he's going back and forth between now. This thing is filling up stupendously fast, and that's fantastic. We're probably going to need another train on this one. But for now, we're going to leave him to be, and I'm going to start setting up the tracks for our next guy, and hopefully we'll spot him as he goes, as we pick up the next train here. So we'll press A, which brings up the auto tool, but really we're going to pull I think we're going to go ahead and put a station here, and again I'd like to have a little crossover like this, and I'm just going to direct hook this up. Signals, press S for signals, and it has your last connected one here. We'll have him there, and we're just going to manually put those in. One ways, boom, boom. And easy as that, this guy is ready to go. Also 144 tons. He's making a pretty good amount of coal as well. Also close. We're going to do the same setup. And perfect. We ran out of cash. Now, this guy is still waiting. He's going to make us a bit of money, but we're going to need money before then. We're going to need a lot of money. So, up here, I'm going to pause here. display company finances. Now, we're gonna have to change the name of our company too, by the way. But we've used all of our money. We're gonna need a little bit more. We'll spend lots of money on construction. We can max have up to 600,000, which is pretty good, but we're not gonna need quite that much. Unpause, click borrow. 200. And even 300,000 should be, well, plenty for us to make do with. Another 4-length train. This guy's coming back in. We're going to go ahead and give him orders, control click, and then come back here and go to the station and go my train and go forth and make money. This guy's coming in here, and what you always want to keep an eye on is, you've got your coal mine over here. He's coming over. He's going to unload. Let's see how much we're going to make. Whew, 12,000. That's a huge amount of money, considering this whole thing didn't cost us all that much. Now we've got a huge amount of coal at this station, which that's great. Now come over here to your trains. So you want to click on your trains. You click on this show train details. If you click on total cargo, it'll show you the amount. Because I know sometimes you see, people are over here kind of going, oh well, I know that this is how many, and they count these out. You just click total cargo, 210 tons. So he's going to come back in here. We know this is under our 210 tons. We need only this one train for now. Ideally, he can come in, get filled up, swing right out, and he'll be boom, boom, boom. You see how fast he's already at 90%. He's going to be making us money real fast. Now this one is going to take a little longer. Well, actually not much longer, is he? 160, 180 tons. These are great numbers. Look at him. He's already going back to make another 12,000. And that's fantastic. But we want to be able to get making a good amount of money. So essentially we don't have to worry about, when we go to, hook up some passenger lines and stuff. If we don't have enough passengers or whatever, we've got kind of this industrial line essentially printing us some money because we're doing so good. So let's go ahead and put in a few other stations here. So what I'm going to do, I think, is going to have this jog a little bit this way. And we're going to have him come up this way. And I'm going to use kind of straight lines on this because, actually put X, that'll toggle transparency on stuff, which makes it easier to see a bit of what's going on. What we'll do is we're going to go ahead and bring train 2 is lost. Well, maybe, I think he got confused when we were making these, making the lines here. I was like, what did I do? So honestly, we really shouldn't need much more than this. Like, there's no reason for a train to be coming into the left here. And there we go. At the end of every year, it tells you how much money you've lost, which is sad, but that'll be all right. So we'll go ahead and kind of run these out because we are going to continue along. And if we remember, we want to have kind of this is our right direction, and we might as well give this kind of some fully build this line out. He'll go this direction or that direction. And that's a full kind of little junction for us there. Remember, S for signals. We don't want these path signals, although we can go ahead and place them there. One ways, right, left, Boom, control click, right, on the right. Go ahead and control click these guys out. And there we go. So we basically got some nice looking things set up here. Now, we'll go ahead and come in here. Now, this is a little further away. I don't think I want to do the, I could do a chainy, but I might make it a little bit shorter. And actually, you always want to know, 81 tons of coal. It's not going to be real heavy. Now, this train, there we go. This is probably what's going on is, I forgot to do that. I've forgot that over here. There we go. That's quite a bit better. What a shame. I should have noticed to do that. But we're going to go ahead and do another chainy. But because it's a little further away, I only want to make it a 3. We'll leave those other 2 cars off. And this is going to make it quite a bit lighter. And it's going to be a lot easier for us to work with. So we're going to do go to mines, go to here, and away, my son. All right. So there we go. We've got our trains out. You see, he's a bit speedier than these other trains. 13,000. That's fantastic. So he's moving a bit faster, which makes sense because he's going to be he's got kind of 2 less cars. Fully loaded, he's going to be a little bit faster as well. Let's go ahead and see if we can hook up this one as well, who's quite far away. Only 80 tons. And now technically he's quite a bit closer to this one, so we could have a second one set up here. But you know what? For simplicity's sake, I'm going to say this is our power plant. Let's stick with it. We signed a contract with these guys. We gotta stick with them. So we'll let some money roll in here. But for now, first thing arrives. We're gonna start making some money here. How are these looking? Oh, this is looking good. So Drondinghattan Mines. Now he's making a lot of money. We want to clone this train. We want to have another one sitting there. So let's make sure train 1, Drondinghattan Mines. If we do clone train, if we just click and clone him, he'll have the same orders and he'll have the same size and everything. But if we do control, if you hold control and click on him, let's go and have a look. So what happens is you see here shared orders. Go ahead and hit go. This guy is now going to share orders. So if we update his orders or this orders, that's gonna cascade to both trains, which is ideally what we want. It looks like it might be about time for us to duplicate this other train as well. So we're going to control click him and go. So this guy. Still 61 tons of coal. That's a pretty good amount of coal. Now, ideally, we'll have one guy in here. He'll be almost fully loaded. The other train will whip in, and he'll pull out. And that's what we want. That's what we want. Kind of constantly coming in here. Later on, we can talk about with passengers. It kind of matters a little more where they don't want to be waiting at the station. They want to be, what are you doing? Heading for power plant. Did he not unload for some reason? That was a little bit odd. I'll have to go back and look at the footage and see what that train was up to. And I'll have to check it too, because I think I'd had it turned off where they can't make these 90-degree turns, which is a little bit unrealistic. A train doesn't turn quite like that. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get this last coal station, this last coal mine hooked up, which he's over here. And we'll go ahead and kind of roll with that. And see, there we go. So we've got. This one's rolling out. He's already parked here getting the stuff. So if we look at Drondinghattan, the ratings, we've got very good ratings because we are getting the vast majority of coal, you know, immediately as it's being produced. It's not sitting and kind of decaying on the, you know, and kind of to we're gonna go ahead and clone this guy and send him out right away. You know, the stuff's not getting old on there now. Stuff doesn't decay, thankfully, in this game. It's not quite that advanced, but we want to be able to kind of, you know, get this as good as possible because that's going to allow this mine to grow. We're at 207, which is fantastic to see. These will grow as you have better, as you deliver the goods and everything through here. If you have a really good rating, it'll continue to grow and provide more and more stuff to you. Essentially, they trust your transport company more and more to be able to, you know, deliver, which is really, you know, kind of what we want. So we'll go ahead and we're going to do the same simple station down here, making sure not to forget my cross pieces. Signals again. Here's our stuff. One ways. Boom. Oh, I've made a terrible mistake there. There we go. And I think what we're going to do is bring this down and bring it around. There we go. We'll zoom in here, remove our extras, connect our tracks, and boom, 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 just like that. And again, this one, he's far enough away, he's not going to be really going anywhere else. Now, honestly, it would be, it would make a lot of sense. Let's just go ahead and put a mineral loader. Let's go ahead and do a nice little three platform guy here. And go ahead and build out that same kind of style of station. Like I said, ideally we want these kind of close in because we don't want to be taking up all kinds of room. Now, I've kind of made a little bit of a dog's dinner of this junction, but this should be all right. It's going to be fairly low traffic as it is. There we go, and there we go, and this guy this way, right here, and out. Perfect. Out, in. Oh, you know, it looks like I've gone and made a little mistake. We're going to go ahead and tweak these. R to just do the removal there. There we go. That looks a little better. Right, park in there and out. And looks like these are okay for the one, you know, kind of multi-way. Let's drop in a depot. Oh, almost forgot the rest of our track. Placing tracks all over the place. We got one there, one there. Pow, boom, boom, boom. We're looking pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and get a new vehicle. Again, short range, that'll be just fine. 3, control click, and go, and go. And that way, we've got a connection in through here. So when we start to connect up some other goods, we'll be able to do some interesting stuff here. But otherwise, this kind of does it. Now we can look over here and watch these guys coming in. And again, I don't know what he is doing. I'm going to have to give this a watch and see why this train in particular likes to kind of swing around like that. But anyway, I think that will do us for the first episode. This is generally how you want to set up. You know, I like to set up this way. You find a power plant, you pick up your, you know, you get your coal plants, your coal mines feeding in coal, and it's really an easy way to essentially start, as I say, printing money. It's going to set you up well to say, look, if you mess up a line later, you know, if you're doing your passenger lines, as we're going to do in the next episode, and you make a mistake or something, you've got a little leeway because these are just going to be constantly bringing in money. They're a very straightforward industry. You pick up the coal, you drop it off. You know, it's just kind of in and out. You make money, and it just makes it light, you know, much easier. And the sooner that you're debt free, the more that sweet money is all yours. Because if we look here, you know, we've got the loan, and there is going to be some loan interest. Now it's not much. It's not a bunch of money that we're losing to this, but you know, we don't want to be, you know, sending money off to the bank if we can help it. The fat cats there don't need any extra money. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Join us in the next one. We're going to be going over setting up a passenger line and possibly doing a little more advanced junction, because right here, this one tends to get a little bit choked up when we have, you know, trains kind of come in from multiple directions, and we want to make it a little bit better. So anyway, take care, and we will catch you in the next one.